are watching and listening to Tags Live, aka Talk About Gay Sex, the live edition. That's right, we're here every Wednesday night on the Vocal platform. This is episode 423, and I'm your host, Stevie, alongside co-host, partner in crime, Kodi Maurice Doggette. Happy holidays, Kodi.
Hello, darling. Happy holidays. It's that time of year, isn't it? It doesn't feel like it.
It does for me, because I do have my tree up. I have a little bit of lights going on, and you can't help it. I think we said this the other day. When you walk around New York City, even the dollar store has decorations and decor. I mean, it's like vomiting of... And the brilliant part about it, which I really love, is even though I leave next Tuesday for the Bay Area of California, when I come back, it's the week after Christmas, and Christmas decorations stay up way beyond New Year's Day.
Really?
Here in New York. And
I mean, at your house too?
No. Well, yeah, I will leave up. There's these great lights that I put on my, like, below my TV, and they look really nice. And I just love that little sparkle that we can add to life. Did you decorate?
No, we have to decorate. I should go get some stuff tomorrow.
I mean, a tree?
That's probably why it doesn't feel like Christmas right now for me, because
oh my God.
We just been running around all last week was with my family, and the week before my family came to visit as well. So I've just been kind of on a different type of holiday mood. Trying to see family and all that type of stuff. So
I gotcha. I know where
I'll get there.
All right. Well, we are live in front of a live audience. Hi, everybody. You can put messages, questions, say hi, shout out to us in the chat section, and we will incorporate you into our episode 423. Let's get into it, because there's so much to talk about. Well, I couldn't help. We have to celebrate. This is a good thing. Marriage equality is now federal law here in the U.S. after President Biden signed the act. That's right. He signed the Respect for Marriage Act into law Tuesday afternoon, assuring that marriage equality for same-sex and interracial couples will remain, if we had to even say that, will remain. Right? I know, but listen, let's protect it.
Yes.
Will remain the law of the land no matter what the U.S. Supreme Court does. Today, he said, is a good day, Biden. I'm so glad. They did a whole ceremony. They lit up the White House, Kodi. It looked so beautiful. I'm just so happy about it. And, we talked a little bit about it on the show before. Some people felt that it didn't go far enough, because essentially what it does is protect those that are already married.
Yes.
In every state that they visit in the state, even if the state doesn't want to recognize, they have to now. So you could move to a state that previously didn't recognize it. They have to recognize it, which is really good. The way people are saying that it doesn't go far enough is that you can't get states that still choose to not offer marriage licenses to same-sex couples. That remains the same, but at least it protects those that are already married. And if you do, Kodi, get married, you will be protected under this federal law now. So nothing can take it away from here out. It's just a big sigh of relief and a big win. We got to celebrate when Biden gets his wins here in the States, because he really is working and making changes. And I don't think we really say that enough. And this affects our community. He was an ally and a proponent of same-sex marriage before Obama was.
Really?
In fact,
I did not know that.
He convinced Obama. Obama was for always same-sex unions, but wasn't. He was on the fence of marriage. Biden was for marriage before Obama. Let's not forget that. That's why I have a soft spot for President Biden so much. I mean, I love President Obama, of course, but I have a soft spot for Biden. I took my picture with him. I'm going to put it up now, actually. I did.
Please do. You have to now. Yeah, this is great. I think that it's really amazing. It's long overdue, and it kind of takes the this issue out of the hands of the Supreme Court. And because if you know how some people on the Supreme Court, if they could have their ways, these things would go back to the dark ages, and we would have to worry about our civil liberties as far as marriage is concerned. So it's great. And Shangela was there. So
right. That's
so good. Go ahead.
Exactly. I don't even want to talk about the anti-LGBTQ plus rep, Vicky Hartzler of Missouri. Well, I guess I am talking about her. She's a representative of the House of Rep, and she was crying on Thursday, begging her fellow representatives to vote against this Respect for Marriage Act. And she said, I'll tell you my priorities: protect religious liberty, protect people of faith, and protect Americans who believe in a true meaning of marriage. You got to see this video, guys. It's crazy. She's literally weeping and crying, even though she knew this was already going to effect. I can't believe it. And she has a gay nephew who was immediately calling her out. Her nephew pointed out that religious schools still receive federal funding, even if they discriminate against LGBTQ plus students. He's 23. He said he was reported for, he's totally against his aunt. And I'm totally for him. Andrew Hartzler said his aunt called out his aunt. If it's more like you want the power to force your religious beliefs onto everyone else. He's talking about his aunt. And because you don't have that power, you feel like you're being silenced. But you're not. You're just going to have to learn to coexist with all of us. And I'm sure it's not that hard. I'm really glad that he called out his his political aunt out, because that's not easy. And who knows, are they going to sit at the Christmas table? Those kinds of things always go in my mind.
Can you imagine?
I know, right?
Yeah, I would have more choice words for her if she was my aunt. And I think that he should honestly take her spot on the Missouri Congress.
Ooh, maybe he will run. You know, what a great way to use the last name that they actually share, and then run for office, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think that would be amazing. I would move. Nope. I was going to say I would move back to Missouri, but I'm not.
Please don't. I know. We're going to be talking about Virginia a little bit later, where you have lived. Well, congratulations to all married couples, LGBTQ couples in the United States, because you are now protected, and it's a big win. So congratulations. Well, you know, we keep talking about travel, and we're really know where the last few episodes, Kodi, we've been talking a lot about know where you're going these days, because there are laws in effect that could, like Brittany Griner, that's an extreme case, but put you in jail. Now, we've been talking about other places around the world where LGBTQ rights are legal, sex may or may not be legal. This is a good one. Here's where you want to go now. Put this on your list, everybody. Barbados just took a big step towards LGBTQ plus equality when the High Court in Barbados ruled this past Monday to basically strike down gross indecency laws criminalizing, and they called it buggery, which I didn't know what that was, but it's sodomy or anal sex.
I think I Googled it too, because I didn't know the difference. And I think that it also includes like bestiality in some things. So it's really, it's not, I don't want to be associated with some of the things that it's associated with, for sure.
This law dates back to colonial times, although specific legislation doesn't really specify gender. It was basically overwhelmingly used to criminalize gay men in the past. So Barbados, a tourist hotspot, becomes the third Caribbean nation this year to repeal such laws. Yay! Both Antigua and Barbuda and St. Kitts and Nevis ruled similar laws unconstitutional earlier in 2022. So the shift in legal status is giving hope to advocates in other Caribbean nations.
Yes.
So, where is it still illegal to be gay, you ask? Worldwide, 67 nations still criminalize homosexuality, and that's down from 80 a decade ago. In the Caribbean, this includes Guyana, Grenada, Dominica, St. Vincent, and the Grenadines, as well as Jamaica.
Oh,
So, yes,
not
this
going
is
there.
right. The historic decision is significant because it's protecting human rights and the dignity of LGBT people in Barbados. And I'm so happy about this because I love the Caribbean, Kodi, and
Me
it's
too.
just, the water, and this is a right step. I mean, I think we talk so much about how we're maybe heading towards a recession. Travel after 3 years of being in lockdown and COVID is really back on the rise. Everybody seems to want to pack their bags. And now for states to really be implementing anti-LGBTQ, it's just a bad business move if you
I
think
mean,
about it. We
yeah.
have the most accessible funds than many communities.
Yeah.
And it's just a big mistake, I think.
No, I totally agree with you. I think that it's as far as countries go, I definitely would not want to go anywhere where my lifestyle is not accepted or
Yeah.
it was codified in law that I could not be affectionate with my partner. It would just dissuade me from going there. And I feel like a lot of people who love me wouldn't even want to go there. So I think that it's a trickle down effect. If people decide that they want to take a vacation, I think it's time for me to take a vacation, but for sure. So
You
they
deserve one.
thank you, babe. They look at these types of things and then they decide not to go there. So let's go to Barbados. Let's have a good time. And I think that as far as when it comes to suppressing a faction of people in a society, it doesn't really work out for that society. Because I read in the article that you sent me that when they started to readily accept gay people there, it had an effect on the entire community that was more healthy for the entire community. So I'm glad they're doing the right thing.
Exactly. I mean, the whole thing is crazy because recently I've been looking at ads on TV for Abu Dhabi, and these ads are glossy, and essentially they feature an individual professing there was an irrigation specialist as one career, and it was like
This is in a
glossy
commercial.
in a commercial. And I've seen 2 or 3 of them for Abu Dhabi, and they're essentially saying what the career is. One was an art exhibit curator and
Okay.
the beautiful art that she brings into, and then they show them in their regular life sweeping shots of the city and so on and so forth, and why it's a good place to not even travel but to move to live in. So they're, and it's by one of those tourists, not even tourist boards, but the head of Abu Dhabi, like if it was here in New York City,
Mm-hmm.
the state of, to
Yeah.
encourage people to move to that particular place.
Mm-hmm.
And one of them actually said it's an amazing place and where everyone feels welcome, type of thing. And I
In
pretty
Abu
much
Dhabi.
and I was pretty certain, but I had to just do a quick Google check, in which
Yeah.
LGBT right acceptability in Abu Dhabi, it's the American Emirates and United Arab Emirates.
Mm-hmm.
And no, to be gay, LGBT is a crime and
Yes.
punishable. What did I write here? Punishable by death. It's illegal. So
Wow.
these ads are proliferating around, like on networks, news networks, glossing over, making it look like this beautiful place to actually consider relocating, to become an irrigation specialist, an art advocate, and then not mentioning, no, it's not acceptable to everybody. It's so gross to me.
Except if you're gay, right?
Yeah, or trans or anything
Yeah.
else under our
True.
acronym. It's just disgusting. So that's why we will continue this conversation as new places come about with their rules and regulations, because you just want to know this when you travel, consider moving, so on and so forth. I just think, yep, we're on it. That's all there is to
Yes,
that.
I agree. I think we should definitely be keeping the people informed on where it is safe for them to go.
Yes, exactly. Well, we are live. You can always comment in the comment section. It's Tags Live. It's Wednesday night. It's episode 423. All right. Well, I couldn't help but notice this next story because it happened to be my old stomping ground in Los Angeles, California. Talking about a gay actor who, Drew Droge, was out on a date recently at the famous El Compadre, a place that I used to visit all the time on Sunset Boulevard. Now, he
Okay.
was at the Echo Park. I didn't know there was two of these. He was at the Echo Park version of it, but I used to go to the one across from the Guitar Center. Shout out to LA. And this, Kodi, was my stomping ground spot. So imagine a Mexican restaurant, old school, no windows to the place. So you go in and it's kind of dimly lit with those red candles lit and those banquettes that are burgundy, if you know what I mean. So it's
Oh,
got a
yeah.
little bit of an old school 70s vibe, but you could definitely go there with your buddies, friends. You could go there on a date. Margaritas and tequila is flowing. Food was good. You know, you could get your
Oh.
enchiladas
Oh, I
and
love
your
a good enchilada. Oh my God.
tacos, of course, with the refried beans and the rice, that
Yes.
kind of Mexican food. But it
You're
was
making
such
me
a
hungry.
okay. It literally was a favorite spot that I had to go to. And they did this thing with the margaritas where they put this orange rind in there and they lit it up so your drink was on fire as they
Oh,
brought it to you.
wow.
And it was always like, yay. And everyone's shouting and having a great time. And you enter from the backside. Anyways, he was on a date, the actor that I was just talking about. Had his arm around his date. They've apparently been on a few dates, kissing a couple times. He was looking around the room and seeing other heterosexual couples doing just the same thing.
Yeah.
When the manager came up to him and said, this is a family establishment. You can't, you really should stop. To which, and I'm like, this is my old stomping gun. It's LA. Gays are everywhere. It's Hollywood. You know, it's
Rampant.
even if it's the Echo Park. Echo Park, for those of you know, is adjacent to Silver Lake, which used to be the gay second place that everyone wanted to live next to WeHo. Well, now it's all gentrified. It's hipsters. So the idea that this manager came up to him, well, the actor went on Facebook, as did his date, and essentially called out the restaurant. Well, the restaurant had a lot to say as they wrote, you read the post. Essentially what they said, Kodi, was absolutely, we support the LGBT community and everybody else under the sun. We do not discriminate. We have never discriminated against. We are looking into this. Absolutely. And I think they're going to follow up because people like Matt Bomer, who's friends with the actor, said, I'm so sorry this happened to you, but glad you got a good makeout session out of it. Added some humor to the mix, which is really great. But can you believe this? And
Yeah.
do you show affection when you go out? Because here in New York, it's pretty similar to LA in many
Yeah.
respects. Are you all over Joe or
Well, first, I have good news for you. I tried to look up how many El Compadres there were in the LA area, and the first story that pops up when you Google El Compadre is that they fired the manager.
Oh my God! Yes. Okay.
So,
you know that it's freaking LA.
Yeah,
I mean,
up to the minute
and El
reporting here on
Compadre. It's El Compadre. It's literally the best fun Mexican restaurant to go to.
Yeah, and I could not believe this story when you told me about it. Somebody had sent it to me before, and I was like, I didn't know what to think of it. But you said once you sent it to me, I read up more about it, and I could not actually believe it because it's just asinine if there are other people in the restaurant that are kissing, then what is the difference between a gay couple doing the same exact thing? There is no difference. It's not unacceptable. It's completely asinine as far as I'm concerned. As far as do I kiss my boyfriend in public, I'm very aware of my surroundings when I'm out. As far as if I'm in a restaurant, I try to kind of test out the waters if the comfortability of other people. Maybe I'm entirely too considerate of other people, but that's my own fault, and that's something that I have to work on. But I test it out. I touch his hand. I'm a little bit affectionate with him. And then if things seems to be going okay, if the energy is still okay, then yes, I am very affectionate. In a gay bar, I'm extremely affectionate, but I get into trouble a bunch in gay bar. But yeah, and you know what? Something else that really kind of is on my radar is if there are kids in the restaurant. And go ahead.
Well, I want to hear your point because it goes back to the point you were making earlier about family restaurant.
Yeah.
And family, last time I checked, gays and lesbians and bisexual people and trans can have children.
Yeah.
And so that is some people's families. Some people's family is two dads. Other people's families are two moms, and that is family to
Yes.
them. And the other thing I want to say about this restaurant, and probably why he was fired anyway, because the policy that I've always known this place, I happen to know it, it's always been filled with LGBTQ people, and that's its shtick. He was just on planet Mars, and I don't know what he was smoking, but
Yeah.
it was his own
Planet
grievance that
asshole.
he didn't. Yeah, because that doesn't even fall true. By the way, this isn't Olive Garden, which I would call a maybe,
I
which
love
by the
Olive
way,
Garden.
I don't go to, but
What?
maybe
We
no.
go at.
No.
We
Absolutely
going.
not.
I'm gonna take you out, and you're gonna be like, "Where are we going?"
And it's
I'm,
not even a price thing because El Compadre is pretty cheap, and
Yeah.
that's the best part about it. It's so fun. But I like kitschy places like El Compadre, but far from where I would bring my child if I had a kid, because tequila is flowing all over the place. Shots are being had. It's dimly lit. Like I said, there's no windows. It's hardly where I would consider it a family restaurant. I don't think they have a kid's meal. It's just, I mean, it's not that, to me, it's not family. It's dark and night and adult, if you will.
Oh,
And
really?
Yes.
So this person was just really on a complete other level as far as being discriminatory. That's really sad, and I'm glad he got fired. I I wish somebody would come up to me and tell me that I could not kiss my boyfriend in public. I would flip the table over. I would walk out and pack up my meal and not pay. It would just be, I would throw a fit. Because at the end of the day, like you mentioned, I'm somebody's son. I'm somebody's brother. Depending on the night, I might be somebody's daddy. So, like you said, we're part of families too. So our love is not any different than anybody else's love at the end of the day.
Absolutely. Watching us live right now, Eli says, is that the restaurant that has the drag show in the basement? It is not, actually, and I know that one. That's in Silver Lake. I want to say, I don't want to get it wrong, but I'll find out because my friend goes to that one where they have drag shows in the basement. They do a Christmas show in that one, but that one is in Silver Lake and a lot of fun. LA's fun. I just love it, and it's my old stomping ground, and I miss it sometimes. But
we'll go there and to Olive Garden.
And we will not go to Olive Garden. My goodness, I will never go to Olive Garden. Gosh, how could you even?
And then Taco Bell from last week,
right? And throw in BBQ, right? Never. Okay. Man. Well, we all know what's going on recently with Twitter when Elon Musk took it over. And Twitter and Elon just debanded its Trust and Safety Council. Now, if you know anything about what the Trust and Safety Council essentially they're responsible for hate speech that has been pervasive on Twitter and monitoring any kind of activity that needs to be taken to the authorities,
Mhm.
be monitored, like we said, hate speech. And he just disbanded that whole department. But he's also accused a gay former Twitter employee who was the head of this department for sexualizing kids. So Elon Musk essentially got rid of, well, Yoel Roth, who was part of this department, was the head of this department, was gay and resigned from Twitter recently after surviving Musk's firing of sexualizing children. Musk clipped a section of Roth's doctoral dissertation in a screenshot and tweeted it along with the comment, "Looks like Yoel is arguing in favor of children being able to access adult internet services," in his PhD thesis. He is so out of control, Kodi. It's
Yeah.
crazy. I mean, is this all he has time to do? It's almost like he got mad at Yoel leaving, disbanded the whole department that is
Mhm.
really supposed to be monitoring hatred, and then took time to find Yoel's PhD thesis, which, by the way, is not about sexualizing kids. It's the opposite. In fact, Yoel's PhD thesis had to do with the fact that young adults that are 18 and under actually can
Mhm.
get on apps like Grindr. And he's advocating, if you're going to allow them on your apps, then we really should
Yeah.
have services within those apps that address young queer adults for
Yes.
safety reasons and for certain things. That was his whole point of his thesis. If you're going to have them, we need to address that. And since you are already having them on your platforms, then we need to really address this. Not how Elon Musk
He flipped
twisted
it.
it
He
to
twisted
say,
around.
which is a pervasive argument that's going on in the country right now, that LGBTQ people are groomers for young adults. And it's this argument that the right is, we basically got this right wing owner, billionaire who runs Twitter, who is just the divisive part of this country right now and is
Yeah.
feeding beef to the right and laughing behind, but it's just not going to work.
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree more. He is an entitled idiot. I
Yeah.
could not believe this when I heard this. He is just seeding so many seeds of dissent in this country, and I really don't understand it. Like, how can you mistake? And he's totally reaching as far as firing this man. He's looking for a valid reason, it sounds
Yeah.
like, and it's not even working. We see right through him. You know that he was just at a Dave Chappelle concert and Dave Chappelle brought him out.
In San Francisco.
Yeah, and he was booed off the stage because we see right through him, and everybody was so upset at him and what he's doing on Twitter. He's a proponent of hate speech, like you said, and he's just disgusting to me. I hate Elon Musk. I don't
Oh,
hate I don't hate him because I don't hate anybody, but I severely dislike him.
he's out of control. And unfortunately, I use Twitter for the show, but I'm seriously
Mhm.
thinking, like, do I really want to be on the platform anymore?
So
I
many
can't.
people are getting rid of it.
Yeah, I think I really want to. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I get a response from a Real Housewife, which I don't follow any of the housewives, but it's like a response from Kyle Richards, and it's always like, "Yep, I agree." And it's like, "You agree to what? Like, how did I get that one response in my email feed from Kyle Richards?" It was so random. So, I mean, yeah,
Wow.
it's just dumb. I know, I don't get it. And
That's
then
so
I know. I think we have more interaction on our Instagram and our TikTok than we do. I don't really use Facebook either because, yeah. So
Yeah.
we'll see. We'll see.
Definitely.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. Hey guys, your buddy Stevie here, and some good news and some bad news. Yes, summer is over. Good news is we got monkeypox under control. It's time to get back into the mix, and I'm talking about one of my favorite pastimes is to go to play parties or my favorite BDSM clubs. And when I go to those, I want to know that I can last as long as possible and have as much fun as possible, if you know what I mean. I definitely do not want to blow my load early on in the night. I want to be able to last as long as possible. And that's why I want to tell you about Roman swipes, because they are so convenient over-the-counter wipes that are clinically proven to help you last longer in bed or at your favorite play party. They are uniquely formulated to reduce overstimulation without eliminating sensation altogether. And there's a 2019 study where they were proven to increase time to orgasm by more than 4 times. So to use, all you do is remove the disposable swipe from discreet pocket-sized packet. I carried it in my jeans, easy breezy, wipe on the most sensitive parts of your penis, and allow to dry for about 5 minutes. They're safe, effective, and no prescription is needed. When used as directed, Roman swipes leave no scent or taste, so there is no transfer to your sexy partner. Okay, I've got the perfect deal for you. Try swipes today with a special offer just for our listeners. Get 20% off your first order. Just go to ro.co/tags, TAGS today. That's ro.co/TAGS for 20% off. Hey guys, Stevie here. And we all know how important a good night's rest is, how important sleep is for sanity, to be productive every day. I certainly do. And for the last several weeks, I've been so happy to try my brand new Helix Mattress. Let me tell you, I have been getting some of the best sleep and waking up refreshed, although I could stay in bed for hours because this mattress is so comfortable to my body. I just know whoever I bring into my bed soon I'm not going to be able to get them out. I took the Helix sleep quiz and I was matched with the Midnight mattress because I really wanted something that felt medium to firm, as I tend to sleep on my side and my back all night. The mattress that I had before was fine, but I had it way too long. And then I put this foam covering on top of it that worked for a while, but it got so mushy and I was waking up with aches and pains. The Helix mattress is a major upgrade. No longer do I need an extra padding because it's built in and I'm getting some of the best sleep of my life. Not only is the mattress the best I've slept on, but the setup was fast and easy. Helix mattresses are delivered in a box and straight to your door for free. Helix Sleep is a premium mattress brand that provides tailored mattresses based on your unique sleep preferences. The Helix lineup includes 14 unique mattresses, including a collection of luxury models, a mattress for big and tall sleepers, and even a mattress made just for kids. Simply take the Helix Sleep Quiz and find your perfect mattress in under 2 minutes. Helix knows there's no better way to test out a new mattress than by sleeping on it in your own home. That's why they offer a 100-night risk-free trial. Try out your new Helix mattress, see how your body adjusts, and if you decide it's not the best fit, you're welcome to return it for a full refund. Everybody is unique and everyone sleeps differently. That's why Helix has several mattress models to choose from, each designed for specific sleep positions and feel preferences. Models with memory foam layers to provide optimal pressure relief if you sleep on your side. Models with a more responsive foam to cradle your body for essential support in stomach and back sleeping positions. Plus, enhanced cooling features to keep you from overheating at night. Every Helix mattress has a hybrid design, combining individually wrapped steel coils in the base with premium foam layers on top. It's the perfect combination of comfort and support. Helix is offering up to $200 off all mattress orders and 2 free pillows for our listeners. Go to helixsleep.com/tags, TAGS. And by supporting Helix, you're also allowing them to support Tags Podcast. So go purchase your Helix and thank me later for your best night's sleep. With Helix, better sleep starts now. Again, it's helixsleep.com/tags, TAGS. Moving on, we have to talk about this Phoenix police officer who's under investigation, essentially for filming porn. And he goes by his porn name, get this, Rico Blaze, while he was on duty. So this officer's name is Christian Gogans, and he's facing internal investigation and according. What's that?
I said his government name is out there. Oh Lord!
Yeah, good. He's under investigation. Yeah,
it's true. It's true. Yeah.
So he's essentially under investigation because he has not just an OnlyFans, but a porn, and I will post this on TAGSPodcast.com because the police shot next to him fucking, it's straight porn, you guys, so don't get too excited. But I did watch the clip. I'll post this on TAGSPodcast.
You're brave.
I don't mind a straight porn in a minute, but I do love drama. Wait till our next story. It's even more drama. I can't wait. I love the drama. That's why we don't need our community doesn't need the housewives when we got it in our own backyard. Amen. Well, this guy essentially was on duty but working from home and filming porn. But it does bring up the question, Kodi. I mean, you can't be in service. I would consider a police officer in public service, essentially, right?
Yes.
You're a public servant.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the right? And his face is out there. You have OnlyFans. I'm all here for people making money, and you can't do it. We all know it's not even. We don't even need to discuss this. You can't do anything like that on the job.
Yes, that is where. Okay, all right.
But we don't even. Let's not even break that down because we already know that's just grounds for firing, anyways. But the conversation really is, can he be a police officer and also have an OnlyFans account and be a porn star? I don't know if that was in his contract, if that's in any police officer's contract, but I'm assuming it's not good. I don't know. It was like the conversation we were having with Jeremy on episode 422, where the mayor posed nude in this small town in Iowa of 8,000 people. And Jeremy and I were like, whether or not it's acceptable, it's just in poor taste. And you were like, who cares? He has a sex life. It's like, we know I think, yes, of course, the police officer, the mayor, fine, you can have sex lives. But they don't do what we do, where we're talking about sex. We could actually be porn stars if we want. I don't know who's going to be watching it, me at least, but I'm just saying, maybe we're going to talk about it in a second. But I just think, what are your thoughts on this?
I'm going to relate it back to what I said about the mayor. He is completely free to do whatever he wants as long as he's not doing it on the job. That is where he messed up, because when he started filming his OnlyFans, even in his police officer uniform, he shouldn't be filming in. Because if you should
definitely not.
Yeah, it relates it back to his job, and there's a connection there that shouldn't be exploited. I think that as long as he doesn't cross those lines, he's free to do whatever he wants. I don't see anything wrong with it. The only thing that I might have a little bit of a problem with is if a school teacher was doing it, because they have to see the young kids all the time. And I think that is a conflict of interest in its own way. And I think that it just brings about certain issues that a school teacher would not want to deal with. But a police officer, that sounds kind of hot to me. That sounds like one of my fantasies that I think about.
It's definitely a fantasy for sure, but I think, where he got sloppy, and this is where segueing into our next topic that's basically related to this, guys in a recent Reddit thread revealed considered whether they'd ever star in an adult film. Some
Mhm.
of the comments said I'd never do it. Others said it 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 is hot, but the real life consequences of doing that kind of work have taught me the hard way that some fantasies should remain fantasies. Others wrote, I've been approached to do it and to be an underwear model, and the thought of it always turns me on. But when I think it back, nope, I won't do it. Somebody said, been offered a few years ago, but nope. Once it's out permanently, and I'm not looking to alter my future and image forever in such a way. And lastly, somebody else said, the list goes on, worked on a set for a while, and I wouldn't ever want to be a performer.
See, that is an opinion I would take.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Because he knows firsthand what it is to actually go there and that be your job. Because at the end of the day, it is a job. I've definitely considered it. I've been approached in clubs when I was younger. I was in my 20s.
Right.
I was nice and tight and right. And they were like, have you ever been interested in being a porn performer? And I was like, no. But now in this economy,
Yeah.
I'm seriously considering an OnlyFans with my partner, my boyfriend,
Yeah.
by myself. And I mean, I can't go into it any further because I would like to has some anonymity with it. So
But I
yeah,
think with what you do as an artist, as a host, as
mhm.
a life coach, and your partner who's an artist for the most part, or in the creative area, you guys are okay to kind of go down that path. But I
Mhm.
think you need to consider all of the facts on it. Like you said, it is work
Yeah.
at the end of the day, and can you perform? And things like OnlyFans, we've talked about it on the show before. It's not, yes, I think you have to really, you and I, for example, are meeting on Friday for an upcoming project. It's a
Yep.
long-term project, but I'm going to outline this and we're going to have a powwow on it. You'll hear more about it soon,
Can't
listeners.
wait.
But it's a new venture. But things like this show, I think a lot of people think, oh, I could podcast, I could do that, until they realize the work that actually goes into it. And
Oh
you
wow.
can't take breaks on podcasts like you can in TV goes on hiatus.
Mhm.
uh, Music performers put out a project and then they go away for a while. Not the same for a podcaster. You have to keep it going all the time and churning it out. And we
Yeah.
figured it out how to
Otherwise
work
you
on this
lose.
show. We're going to talk about a different way for it to work on a new endeavor. But I think with things like porn, OnlyFans, it sounds glamorous and fun because you might like your body and you could perform on camera, but you got to think about the nitty gritty. How am I going to, and when viewers want to see this, how am I going to respond to that? When viewers want you to do this or that, am I going to be able to do that? What's my niche and how can I sustain that? And how
Yeah.
can I, do I have the right equipment to, am I going to work with a partner? And how are we going to keep this these are all questions that need to be like a marketing meeting. I come from marketing and this is what you got to go through.
Yeah. What did you mean by the right equipment?
Well, I was actually
That's a double
talking
entendre, girl.
I was talking about the lights and
Oh, the
that, yeah.
lights. Okay.
Yeah.
I just thought that was funny.
Yeah. Well, it could mean a lot of things.
Yeah. So I want to actually go back to one thing you mentioned as far as my professions because I have like 18 jobs. A life coach friend of mine was actually very adamant about me deleting my more thoughty underwear, basically Instagram, because she said that it wasn't professional looking. So I can only imagine. I told her to fucking mind her business. So that bitch, mind your business.
Right.
And I can only imagine as far as what people think of me when they see this Instagram. So I can only imagine what they would think if they knew that I was considering. I haven't done it just yet, and like having an OnlyFans with my boyfriend.
Absolutely. I don't think any problem with it given, and you can work with LGBTQ community. I don't think there's anything ever wrong with it.
Yeah.
But you can't do it at work like this police officer is doing. And there's other professions where it's just not, sorry, it's just where we're at. What does Eli say watching us live right now?
Eli says, I would never, I enjoy porn too much. Seeing behind the scenes would ruin this fantasy for me or for him, basically. So
Yeah.
I see his point and I agree.
Yeah. We want to know what you think too. What would you consider being an adult performer, whether it's porn or OnlyFans? Let us know. We can continue the conversation. You can always tweet us at TAGSPodcast, DM me at TAGSPodcast. You can always go to TAGSPodcast.com. Let's keep this conversation going because I'm curious to know where everyone's at with this. We all watch a lot of porn, so
Oh my gosh.
we are hardly prudish to any of this stuff. But I just kind of want to get the gauge on where many people are at and where people's careers are at and or family. And, we're very complicated, our LGBTQ community. And so just kind of want to know, yeah. Okay, this juicy next story we have to break down that caught my attention, and we had to talk about it for sure. There is a non-binary energy department official appointed by the Biden administration that's basically in charge of nuclear waste, was recently fired. Get this, they were fired for stealing luggage from multiple airports. Yep, you heard me right. Sam Brinton is no longer on the no longer a Department of Energy employee. The spokesperson told the Daily Beast on Monday evening. A Biden administration nuclear waste official, Sam Brinton, is out of a job after being accused of stealing airport luggage in 2 separate incidents. Sam Brinton is no longer an employee, and essentially, Kodi, this Sam worked prior to working for the Department of Energy, appointed by the Biden administration, non-binary, has a partner. Before that, worked for the infamous Trevor Project. And one of the reasons I think they got this high position at the Trevor Project was because they, for years and years and years, they had told this story about how they had been really not accepted by their family at such a young age, and that their family, because they go by they, put them in conversion therapy at such a young age, and really painted a picture of being pinned with needles in conversion therapy, being tortured in conversion therapy, and really became a poster child for the LGBT community as a survivor. And the problem is, and there's a really good article, I know you looked at it, Kodi.
Oh, yes.
By LGBT Nation, of a deep dive of somebody that really, Wayne Besson, really took to this story because he really has worked with conversion therapy survivors and really wanted to just get some facts. And every time he would reach out to Brinton, he would not get any answers. And when the journalist reached out to Sam's mom, Sam's mom essentially said that he went to therapy as a child, but not conversion therapy ever,
Ooh, busted.
and
Oh,
called
busted.
out. And so it really, forget about Sam for a second, but it's really our community that didn't do our research and really believed a story and elevated this person on a pedestal to be a poster child for conversion therapy and a survivor, and put him in major fields. I mean, the White House, for crying out loud,
Yeah.
put him, but nobody did their freaking research.
Wow.
And then, like all things just like this, there's cracks. Cracks in the and I love a good drama story like this. Cracks in the surface.
You sound like a detective right now.
And honey, stealing, didn't check their luggage at the airport, was seen not once but twice grabbing a really floral suitcase on the conveyor belt, took off, so premeditated, the tag and put on their tags and walked out with it, holding $2,500 worth of merchandise, because they caught that person. Tried to do the
Oh.
same thing in a Miami airport, and somebody on surveillance recognized the luggage and what was going on and Sam's bald head, and caught that motherfucker.
You
I
are
am
on it.
I am on this shit because I think, no, you cannot. You need to do your research. Just because somebody tells a story, a sob story, you can't just immediately believe them. You have to do background checks on this shit, because sorry. And why do I care so much? Because it gives such a bad name. You know how, Kodi, when a black person, you're black, or a
Mhm.
Latino person does a crime, and it's like, oh, why did they have to be my? I'm sorry, we all do this.
You're watching television and you're like,
Yes.
you see a story come up and they're like, oh my gosh,
My mom, my
a
85-year-old,
bank robbery. And
my
you're just praying. You're like, please, God.
or Latino, which I'm sitting
Exactly.
with my mom the other day, and she said, "Oh, and they had to be Latino." This is what
That's
we go
hilarious.
through.
You're
This
so
is, I
funny.
know, but it's true. This is
It's
what we
true,
go.
though. It's true.
But now we got our LGBTQ community too, and we are trying to elevate all of us. And when this happens, it sets us back, because the far right gloms onto this. And believe me, it's been on Fox News all week,
I believe it
chatting
has.
about and giggling at the absurdity of all this. Cody, it is absurd.
It
It
is,
just
totally.
is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's so much to unpack here. I think that you should trust survivors and victims, but also that you should verify, like you said. So I think that what you should do is believe people who have been that they have been abused or what have you, but always verify, like you just said. I don't know why I said the same thing twice. I don't think in any way, shape, or form. I don't agree with conversion therapy. I think it's barbaric, but it's what's so insidious to me is that when I was reading Sam's story, I started to feel empathy for them. I got sucked into the story, so I can see how people would read the story or hear the story and actually have empathy for this person and can be conned by this person, allegedly, because we have to say allegedly because it hasn't been disproven quite yet. Because what this person would have had to endure would be horrific. So if it's not true, then they're a piece of work. My mind is blown. And this person is not stupid. They're a nuclear engineer.
And energy waste. Yes.
It,
Yeah. Nuclear energy waste is the position, which I
yeah.
don't even know what that really means. I mean, I guess it sounds like what it says. They remove nuclear waste. Do they take it to the dumpster? I don't know,
Or they
but
think about the way to actually dispose of it properly is what came to my mind.
Kodi, I
As a
don't know. I mean, it's like I would
we are
not be.
not science
And
gays.
we are not going to be considered for that position, as obviously they need a new nuclear waste specialist. You and I are talking out of our ass when it
my
comes to
gosh. Yeah, exactly.
that. But
Oh man.
but what we do know is they stole two people's luggage and they did it, and that is just like
That's
there's something
like
wrong with
why?
them.
Why would
There's
that person even do that? That's
in,
you don't even know what's in
entitlement.
you don't know what's in that luggage. There might be dirty
I
underwear
know
in that
the whole
luggage.
thing is like to fuck up your whole life like this,
Yes, for
and
some underwear.
for some stupid. I mean, it's pathetic. I don't know.
It
They need some
really, really
serious
is.
help. They need to go to the waste department and check. I don't know. Yeah.
But another thing is, it makes me wonder why. I asked myself this question while I was reading the story. Why would this person lie about this? And when you were relaying the story, it kind of dawned on me
Yeah.
that they've used this alleged lie to elevate themselves in the eyes of people that are make all the decisions that they deem important. So that actually allowed them to be in spaces where they can make their moves to have a position of power. It's
Yeah.
so conniving,
I
and
know.
I feel I feel crazy for being duped
It kind of
because
like we're gonna see the Lifetime movie of this
oh my god, I
happen.
can't wait.
And I know, and all they have to be is bald, but they can put some prosthetic over their head and some lipstick and some high heels, and they can get this character down.
Another thing is, can you believe this? So they have a spouse, right?
Divorce.
Well, number one, divorce.
I would divorce immediately. Grounds
But
for divorce.
do you think that the spouse knew about it?
Uh no, absolutely
You
not.
think
I think it
so?
was their dirty little secret that they thought that they could get away with, and they haven't dealt with their true self. And the spouse is like, "What? WTF?"
You think that they were duped as well?
I mean, for better or for worse, but this is the really
No,
worst of the worst.
this is outside the bounds of for better or worse.
But I don't know what's worse. What if you were monogamous and they cheated? Is this worse? This is so sinister and gross.
This is
This is worse than
misrepresenting
cheating. At least
yourself.
if somebody cheated, you could be like, well, just don't do it again. And I don't know. Are they gonna whose luggage next are they gonna and are you gonna drag me into the mix? Am I like a culprit in this bloody mess? Shout out to London. But yeah, I don't know. I just think absolute grounds. I married the wrong person. Lifetime
Yeah.
movie of the week. Tune in and you know how they churn those movies out on Lifetime? It'll be
Oh
out.
yeah.
It'll be out in the springtime of 2023.
With Vivica and Tori Spelling.
Oh, Vivica will be the one. Vivica A. Fox will be catching it. She'll be right with a short wig on that episode. At the at Miami International. She'll don the short wig on that one. But darlings.
Oh my god. Hilarious. I'm glad we found the levity in this because it's crazy.
Yes. Watching us live, because we can't forget that we're live, is Oleg. And thank you so much. It's your first live show joining us. I hope we are living up to it. He says he's watched us for several months. And Oleg has asked us if we've already talked about, spoiler alert, the movie. No, I was telling my host about this. It's a brand new movie with Jim Parsons and Sally Field. It looks really good. It's in the theater. We have not seen it. We didn't get a screener because we're low budget, but I do want to see it because it sounds so good. So Oleg will try and watch it and talk about it probably during the holiday season. Maybe we'll make it
That sounds reasonable.
Absolutely. Okay. And thank you. We are in the middle of we're almost on our 6-year anniversary. So really
Wow.
excited to celebrate that. We need to get to one Kodi, and I'm going to let you pick Reddit
Okay.
thread before we get to Thirst Trap. And we've only got so much time. So pick the Reddit one
Um,
as I pour some more wine.
how do you initiate a friends with benefits situation after hooking up?
So okay, right. This person did they say anything else in that one?
Let me go to it. I just read it from my notes.
Oh, I'll read it. Okay, yeah.
Oh,
So
okay.
go ahead.
Okay. If you want to see someone more often and eventually become friends with benefits, do you think it's better to text them something like, "Hey, that was fun. Let's do it again sometime," after your first time hooking up, or just keep it cool and hit them up sometime later asking to meet up again? What do you got? What do you think, Steve?
So I cheated a little bit and looked at some of the responses on this, but I agreed that, and then I thought about my own experiences. Essentially, the times that I've had really good sex with somebody and I'm sitting in bed with them, and it's that kind of like either it's the morning or maybe they have to go and you're kind of rolling around, or sometimes they say, "Can I take a shower?" When they're about to leave, I said, "This was a lot of fun. We
Yeah.
should do this again." So it's kind of that thing, and then I get their number. Then I think if you do that
Hmm.
in the night of, or at the very least, what you can do is get their number. Hey, can I get
Hmm.
your number? And if you get their number, but you usually get a good vibe, like that was hot, and both of you are like, yeah, and some of you says, I really enjoyed that. You can already tell at the end of sex that it was good for both of you, and it's
Yeah.
kind of an energy and a vibe that I can't really explain. When
Hmm.
you know that, ask for their number if they don't ask for it first, and don't be afraid to text them afterwards that, hey, that was really hot. It could be later or the next day, and that kind of keeps the spice going that you want to do this again. Now, they just said friends with benefits. There's a whole different conversation if you actually
That'd be
decided you
boy.
liked them, and
Yeah.
or not boyfriends, but go on a
Oh,
date.
sorry, I'm jumping the gun.
Yeah, but we're not there. We're just talking about friends with benefit. What's your advice?
I agree with you to a certain extent. I think that if you start a conversation with that person, then again, you can feel it out. If they just want to leave immediately, then you know it's not going down.
Yeah.
But if they're there and they chat with you, you might even cook them breakfast. I've cooked plenty of days breakfast in the morning. So
Yeah, me too. Me too. Turkey,
and
bacon, scrambled eggs, coffee.
French toast. I make an amazing French
Oh,
toast. Yeah. Yeah, so you just started a conversation. You what it sounds like you wanted to do, or what your advice is that you make your moment. I am a huge proponent of waiting for your moment. So they kind of would allude to something and regarding getting together again. And that is where I would make my move in order to hit them with the would you like to be friends with benefits?
yeah. And I don't think anybody should ever say, "Do you want to be friends with benefits?" ever. That that's a
Why
term.
not?
No.
We should hook up again
That's too
is how I
much.
would
That's
put it.
like pressure. I just think it's a natural thing. If you had great sex with somebody, you know that they liked it or not. And if they're lingering around, if it's a vibe you get. You can tell if you liked it, they liked it. And I think it's just perfectly fine to say that was really hot. Can I get your number? And if they're like, yeah, I mean, I had a guy that was in a relationship and a
Oh,
Republican, and he was like, "That was really hot. I would like to see you again." And I was like, "Yeah, that I would like that too." We exchanged
he's a
numbers.
Republican and you still slept with him again?
It was friends with benefits, not relationships, so I could do it. Okay,
Oh,
just
okay. I'm
sex.
not judging. It was just a
And
question.
his boyfriend had to deal with him, who was a Democrat, and so let him deal with that.
Oh my God, I want to talk to them
I
so
just wanted
bad.
to get the ass. So hit it again, and I hit it. All
Yeah.
right. Let us know where
I
you
just want to
went.
read
Yeah.
Eli's
Oh,
really
yeah,
quick. He
please.
goes, or do like Eli and wait till the next day when you see them at work. I thought that was really funny. I was like, wow, okay. I need to hear this
Yeah.
story too. I need to hear so many stories tonight.
Absolutely. Okay, well, it's time for our final segment by Straight Up Gay Porn, and they've been doing this all year long of who took the best video or porn shot. They're all porn stars or OnlyFans creators. Who took the best one? We've been voting all week, but Straight Up Gay Porn actually did Thirst Trap King Part 1, which we did a couple weeks ago, and now they're on to, because it's the end of the year, Part 2 of Thirst Trap King. And we want you to vote. It's our job to descriptively tell you why we think this one on an audio podcast makes our cut. Who was your pick, Kodi?
Oh, good. I get to go first because we probably picked the same one. So I'm gonna say, like I said last time, I framed my decision around who I would like to see as a Thirst Trap King. So my vote is going to Gael Kriak.
Oh, that was my vote.
I knew it. That's why I was like so glad that I'm going.
I just
I'm
voted
glad
for
I'm
him.
going first. And
He's
I
in
think
number
he's
2, by the way.
Yeah, he's in the top 5. So what they're going to do is they're going to take the top 5 from last week and the top 5 from this week, and then they're all going to merge them all together. So he's in top 2 right now.
We probably picked him for the same reason, for his beautiful body laying on this bed. And like I said last time when I picked this exact picture, I love it when a guy can raise an eyebrow up and gives you that look in the eye, which he's doing. Sexy beard on him, beautiful skin, perfectly coiffed chest hair, beautiful nipples, like amazing waist, a really thick, beautiful cock laying back. Yes. I love the little hair that's on his quads. Yes, love the hair too. Great haircut, short tattoo on his upper left chest. It looks like it's in Arabic, perhaps. I just might be making that up, but really, he's got a great tattoo on his. It's like a tree that's really nice, and
yeah, that's beautiful. And he's got poppers on his bed.
I see some poppers in the background. We've been talking a lot about poppers. Those of you watching us live, let us know who you pick. If there's anybody, as in the last couple seconds that we got, we will. Okay, what does
Hoven Cow for Eli and Julio like Sam Ledger.
Sam Ledger. Okay, nice. Okay. You can vote too, listening audience, by going to TAGSPodcast.com. I'll post this as well as links to the show. You can listen to this episode 423. You can watch this episode. Check us out, and you can follow us at TAGSPodcast.com. You can follow my co-host, Kodi. He's a life coach at KMD Coaching, KMD Coaching on Instagram, or at Mr. Maurice on Instagram. Follow me. I am _Steve V, or follow the show at Tags Podcast. You can DM us for sex and relationship advice at Tags Podcast, And guys, thank you so much. It's been so fun, jam-packed. We're live next week. For the next 2 weeks, I think we're live. And we're taking 1 week off on the 28th. So week off, off on the 28th. 2 weeks, or I believe we're... No, we're live next week.
And then the 28th.
And then the 28th. Spoiler alert. We're off. We're off on the 28th for the holidays, but just the 28th. We're back in the January with all new episodes, so keep an eye out for us. And in the meantime, continue having hot gay sex. Yes.